Hey, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Chris, here with reviews on a couple of comics from Free Comic Book Day. So, Spider-Man one, which has teasers to Absolute Carnage and a small little Peter and Miles rivalry story, and Avengers, which has mainly the Jason Aaron's Avengers for whatever's going on with his current story arcs, etc., plus a sneak peek at Savage Avengers, which, technically came out already. So, Spider-Man, so the first story, which is by Donny Cates, and the art's by Ryan Stegman, and the coloring's by Frank Martin, I believe so. Hopefully I'm right when I reach the end, but it's a teaser into Absolute Carnage, or at least kind of setting it up. So Eddie has been imprisoned on Rikers Island Penitentiary, trying to break into the old Avengers towers, and even the guards say he was so bad at it, it's as if he wanted to be in prison. And while he's in there, he meets Venom's previous host, Lee Price. He was, he was the host straight after Flash Thompson. He was only short-lived because Venom ended up being returned back to Eddie, and then Price became Maniac for a while. They stole Mania and then distributed across his men to make their own kind of like symbiote army or mafia before he has it removed, but there's still traces in him. So as shown by, he still has Venom's emblem on his chest, and Eddie starts to laugh and just rips it off with him, off of him. Sorry, and it kills him. But it's revealed it's not actually Eddie in there. It's actually Carnage, and he was there to retrieve Lee Price's symbiote, or whatever remained of his symbiote, and to frame Eddie for killing all these people inside of Rikers Island Penitentiary. And once he's done, he escapes, and he goes to decide his next host. He's wondering, do I pick the Avengers? What about Toxin, or maybe Osborn, or the kids at the Life Foundation? But no, coincidentally, swinging by is Spider-Man himself, and he decides, oh yes, that will do just fine. To be continued in Absolute Carnage. So that was that one, and the next one is Rivalry between Peter Parker and Miles. How it was kind of set up and what it was teased is like, it's this kind of big fight between Spider-Man and Spider-Man. Not really. Their rivalry is the fact they can't decide which is the best pizza. No, Peter says one, Miles says the other. So they head off and they counter Shocker attacking a free clinic, and he tries to take them on, but they're able to team up and take him out instead. And he suggests a pizza joint that they should go to, and they kind of just accept that everyone has their own favorite little thing that they're not going to change their mind over. But that's it. It was something. It wasn't really a necessary story. There was a bit misleading with the whole that Peter and Miles face each other. Not really climactic battle, but just they're going to fight each other for some reason. Not really. It's just their rivalry is the fact is they both like different pizza joints, and that's it. But yeah, that was Rivalry, which was written by Saladin Ahmed and Tom Taylor, the art by Corey Smith, and the coloring by David Guriel. So I'll start off with this one. Story, 3.5. It was above average. It wasn't really a necessary story, but it was okay. Pretty much it was okay. The art by Corey Smith and coloring by David Guriel, 4.5 out of 5. What the story lacked, the art and coloring made up for. The art and coloring on this is absolutely amazing by Smith and is it Guriel? Curiel. Wait. Yes, Curiel. The font is so goddamn small, I can't really see it that properly, but by Corey Smith and David Curiel, art and coloring, it's really, really good, especially this part when they team up to fight Shocker. The art is definitely at its best here, same with the coloring. So that was that one, and the Absolute Carnage. I need to double check, make sure I was right on the team. Written by Donny Cates, art by Ryan Stegman, and coloring by Frank Martin. Boom, I was right. Story, 4 out of 5. I like this nice little teaser into setting up Absolute Carnage and what Carnage is also doing apart from his own cult. Finally going around taking the remainder of symbiotes from former symbiote hosts. So we got that little teaser. Can't wait for Absolute Carnage to come out. Art by Stegman and coloring by Martin. 4.5 out of 5. I really like this. Really captures the dark and gritty and just gruesome and brutal aspects of what this story is going to be. I jokingly asked Cates and Stegman, can you just give me Absolute Carnage now after reading this? And, tell me what happens. And Cates just retweet and said, pretty much, Carnage kills a lot of people. It's brutal, and we can't see it here with him transforming and killing the rest of the prisoners in Rikers Island Penitentiary. But the art and coloring definitely great, especially from here, these last 3 pages when you see Carnage transformed in his symbiote form. This panel in particular, so goddamn good. And Stegman and Martin did the cover as well. 3.5 out of 5. It's nothing too impressive, but the art and coloring on it is good anyway. So on to Avengers. So Jason Aaron's story. Iron Man is trapped somewhere, sometime, while the rest of the world has to deal with all these several different threats. So a new Squadron Supreme arrives to deal with Namor stopping some oil refineries, floating oil refineries, while Ghost Rider, Blade, and Black Panther have to deal with trying to perform an exorcism on Robbie Reyes' car. You have in Shi'ar controlled space. You have several of the other Avengers, all dressed as different characters. So you got Cap looking like Corsair. You have Thor looking like one of the Brood. Don't know who She-Hulk is as. And you have Carol as... I don't know that character either. But it's revealed that Tony is trapped in the past with the 100... I think it's 100 million BC Avengers. So that was it. Story for that one. It was alright. 3.5 out of 5. It did get a bit wordy, especially, well, in regards to modern comics, a bit wordy with Tony's part, but the story was fine by itself. The art and coloring by, who did the art and coloring at the end? Does it tell me? The art by Stefano Caselli and the coloring by Eric Arciniega. 4 out of 5. I liked it. I think it was at its best with these action scenes. A lot of tense moments. So when the Squadron Supreme arrives, when having to perform an exorcism on a car, etc. And when we're introduced the 100 million BC Avengers in this, definitely where the art and coloring was at its best. So the next part is for a sneak peek into Savage Avengers. It's actually a prequel. You actually get more of Wolverine's reason as to why he's in the Savage Land. So the singer that was sacrificed at the start of the issue. So if you haven't seen my review of it, I'll leave a link on it. I did a review on Savage Avengers. It's actually a pretty good comic. If it's your thing, definitely pick it up. But Wolverine is actually tracking down what happened to that singer. And he also gets attacked by the Hand as well, able to fend them off before he heads off to the Savage Lands to where he eventually meets Conan and etc. And then it goes to Cairo, where one of the members of the Hand delivers Stick, Daredevil's mentor, believing that they can use it to lure Daredevil himself as a potential sacrifice. But this is all a ruse. Stick attacks, and the Hand member that is with them is actually Elektra. And that's it. To be continued monthly in the pages of the Savage Avengers. Ironically enough, I said this in my review, Savage Avengers #1, Elektra on the cover not in the comic itself. In here, she is in this prequel. This prequel to Savage Avengers. She is, ironically enough, she's. They couldn't be bothered to put her into the main book. They put her into the Free Comic Book Day special. So, story, which was by Jerry Duggan, who writes Savage Avengers. Double check. Yep. Who writes Savage Avengers. It was 4 out of 5. It was okay. It was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it for what it was. Was it a necessary prequel? Maybe for Elektra's side. With Wolverine, he's there regardless. When Brother Voodoo gets captured, Wolverine's there to save him anyway, so you could just write it off. Or as if how I wrote it off is that he's there to save Brother Voodoo. So the Wolverine part wasn't really necessary, but the Elektra part kind of was, as she's not properly introduced into Savage Avengers yet. Well, it's only been one issue, so the art by Deodato Jr. and coloring by Frank Martin. 4 out of 5. I think the problem I had with Martin's coloring when in the first issue was that it was very grainy in a lot of parts. In this one, it's only to the first page. In the rest, the art is actually really, really good, especially with the action scenes, so the art and the coloring by Deodato Jr. and Martin. So pretty good. The cover overall, who did the cover? Cover by Ed McGuinness and Val Staples. 4 out of 5. Nice looking art, nice looking colors as well. So that is it for those two from Free Comic Book Day. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.